Yeah. What up, people? Yeah. Hello, hello. Yeah. All right, all right. Yeah, everybody, welcome to my channel. Hello, hello.
Hello, Elephant Money Herd, all of the community. Thank you for joining me on my live stream today. You already know who I am, but the name is SK CryptoK, and today we are going to talk about volatility, especially when it comes to the Elephant Money platform. Now, shout out to all the folks that are in the live chat right now. Be sure to smash that like button, share this around to your groups. And let's go ahead and ask any of the tough questions that you might have. We've even got a special guest, ThorGod Ed, who is going to be joining me so we can hear his thoughts as well. But yes, again, thank you all for being here on this marvelous day. All right. We've all really been used to all of the upside that Elephant Money has had, but we shouldn't be shaken out by what's happening today. So, man, wow. CryptoZoe, I see you in the chat. Brandon, DeFi Guide, welcome, dude. If you want to have a chat, let me know. I can send you the link. Ryan, Greg, Marius, LCM, Jed, Crazy Eddie, Dim, welcome to the channel. Captain Cryptovio, I like that name. What's up? SJ Sharks, welcome to the channel. All right, there's a strong 152K in the BUSD Treasury, stuffing Bertha's face with DCAs. Yep, that is exactly right. Now, folks, let me know if the microphone sounds okay. It's been a minute since I've actually been live on my own channel. You know, kind of been out there doing the daddy things for my child. But I'm sure you guys have caught my string of AMAs that I've been doing everywhere out there. But yeah, let me know if the mic is good. Let me know if the music's too loud. Anything like that, okay? And here, let me see. I'm actually going to go ahead and add Mr. ThorGod Ed to the stream. Dim says, hello, SK. You sound great. Well, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, what about me, though? What about me? Don't forget about the little guy.
Nah, you don't got to worry about that, bruh. You have a spot in the stream today as well, so don't you worry about a thing. But let's see. Let me get some ThorGod Ed up here. Mic check, Mr. ThorGod. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you just fine, brother. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. It's always a good day in Elephant, man. This is even a better day. I feel like, for real.
Yeah. And why, Ed? So go ahead and share with the people while we get started here. What is on your mind? What have you been seeing in the chat? What is going on in your opinion? How do you take all of today's events?
Well, I know we saw a little bit of the BNB movement too. That helped move around the price a little bit. But, you know, for the past couple of weeks, we've heard people talking about they're on open leverage. You know, they've had their position there, and you know, at the end of the month, a brand new month, and we knew this Monday. A couple people was like, "Look, I'm waiting for that first Monday of October. I'm going to start, you know, moving some money." Things are going a little crabby in the rest of the market, and like, you know what? Let's start taking some profits. I mean, you know what? People have been in Elephant for a long time, and we knew a day was going to come where you are here to sell. I mean, that is the purpose of you ever making money. The only way you do it is if you do sell. And a lot of the open leverage people said, you know what, we are going to wait till October, start hitting that thing. And they have, which is awesome, because you know what, they made some money. So congrats to them. Thanks for choosing elephant to bring home some profits to you. And, we're seeing what Bertha does when that happened. We already knew what Bertha was going to do when we buy or sell, but when we see a little bit more of the sells, I think we're seeing how strong Bertha actually is, and how strong she can be in the future as it happens. Because as we get stronger, it's going to happen more, because the more she gets, sooner or later, everybody's going to want the profit. So we actually get to see this in action, and it's actually really cool, and it's working really, really well. The reflections are coming in, and this is actually looking good, even though the number may be going down a tiny, I mean, literally a fraction. What are we at, a gazillionth of a penny we moved, but it still looks good for us because my wallet just went up quite a bit in reflections.
Yeah, absolutely. Depending on where they sold too, right? If they, were doing it on Pancake Swap, then of course we know about the 10% fee, right? And half of that goes right into the locked liquidity, and the other half gets reflected out to all of the holders, including myself, Ed, and of course Bertha, the key ingredient to everything. Now, if all those sales are actually happening on buy with Bertha, guess where the lion's share of that sell fee collected went to? Bertha again. So it shouldn't be any surprise, guys. Like, look, I know we've been out there banging the drum for elephant money, and we have all been so excited with the price action. It has just gone beyond up, right? And it's incredible. But we always knew, and maybe I should reiterate this more when I do these AMAs, but we are not out of the woods yet, guys, when it comes to post-exploit recovery. Remember, a year and a half ago, guys, Bertha, let me see if the chart right here shows me, but Bertha had 212 trillion tokens with a T. 212 trillion tokens at that time before the flash loan knocked her out, right? And here we are today. Bertha's only at like a measly 174.8 trillion tokens. Okay. We are a far cry from how big she was in the past and how she protected the price in the past. So it should be no surprise that there is going to be volatility on the token, especially on the rise up, and especially when we're getting closer and closer to that previous all-time high. You're going to have folks, you're going to have haters even that just want to sell. But look, this stream isn't to focus on sell shaming. We're not doing that. We're talking about the benefits that actually happen when you get volatility on an ecosystem like Elephant Money. And just like Ed said, perfect, Bertha was getting cuts, right? Like she's like just munching down at the buffet, and she is enjoying all of this because every time somebody makes a transaction, whether they are buying or selling, the most important takeaway is that Bertha gets a cut, right? And that's just on the token itself. Never mind futures. Futures is just steady participation where people come in, deposit BUSD, that gets turned in to Elephant token directly for Bertha. So man, it's incredible. It's incredible. Let me see what else we've got here. Marius, Melinda, Michael, they all say hi, let's go. Jed says, such days are great for the herd. Nothing really changes over time. We just get more reflections. That is spot on. We also have Enigma saying, tell them to stop giving free NFTs to rich people like Pelted and give them to wrecked people like me. Much love. Hey, Ed, you may want to take note of that guy. He may show up on a Twitter space and want an NFT.
Yeah, that was a funny line there. I like that one.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, Thomas Nye's in here too. Hey, if anybody wants to actually join Ed and myself up here and just share your thoughts, this is a community live. Like, I just want to hang out with the people. I will DM you the StreamYard link if you wanted to actually come up here and, drop some truth on the people. Mr. Thomas Nye dropping truth. Let's see. Dim says, but why sell massively? Isn't this a poor strategy? It just depends. Listen, we don't know who these people are, right? And because there's no sell shaming here, let them do what they does. It doesn't matter because Bertha gets a cut. At the end of the day, this is only going to grow her 174.8 trillion tokens. So as she gets stronger and back into that leadership position where she once was at 212 trillion tokens, she's going to be all the better as she gets there. So let me see. What else are they saying? True, we want her to have majority of the tokens. That is correct. Oh, you got Money Man in here. Shout out to you, homie. He even says, I just bought me a couple billion more. Love you guys. M for the win. Yeah. Ed, what do you think of this opportunity for even just DCAing? Like, think about all the people who have been coming to these AMAs and they're coming from other protocols and they're just now learning about Elephant for the first time. And how many times would you say you hear people, mention how they're waiting for a dip before they dip their toes in here, and talk about a dip, right?
They have been waiting for a dip, and a lot of them have been waiting. They think the big dip is going to come when the graveyard rebalances. But Here is your chance right now, because now you're understanding when people are start taking a profit, there's little bitty dips here and there. I still call this a tiny dip. It's not a dump, it's a dip. And actually, there's a couple of transactions I saw where people did move off open leverage, and I think they moved into Trumpet. They ended up buying went into Trumpet. So there's some moves being made. Some people may be taking profits. Some are moving into other parts of the ecosystem while they can. And I think if all the people that are just joining, you wanted to know when there was a spot for you, it's always right now. Sometimes we've been saying, hey, DCA on the way up. Well, here's a couple chances for you to actually DCA while we're going down a little bit. And Money Man just jumped in. I suggest you better jump in, because that was just chump change to him. And so if he really wants to get on this dip, he'll eat that up and you'll miss out on this opportunity. I know that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. And I see Michael Lorraine just said added 20 billion. Gonna add another 20 billion soon. Yo, that's awesome. This is a great dollar cost average opportunity for everybody. And just like Ed said, like, this is spot on. You know what I love about the chat bots that happen in the Elephant main Telegram? Okay, I know some people are kind of like, oh man, I really don't like this like spamathon from all these bots, because like you can't have a conversation anymore because somebody just bought one BNB of Elephant and somebody just minted an NFT. It's all in my way. But guys, flip the script, change your thinking, look at the activity that is actually being captured. When anyone's worried or wondering about what is this positive buy pressure always happening on the Elephant token, right? You just look in the Elephant Telegram and you can see it streamlined right there in front of you. Most of these people, even that sold, we see some of those profits rediversifying into another aspect of the ecosystem. I think even just maybe 30 minutes ago, I saw a handful of futures deposits. One was like $10,000. The other one was like, I don't know, $9,000, and then $15,000. Like, you've got people that are just dropping all sorts of funds into futures. And if I could pull my tab up right quick, you'll see that the BUSD Treasury is at a pretty healthy clip right now at $153,000. And we already know what that does, right? We already know what this does. This buys Elephant in the background, specifically for our friend Bertha, who looks like just crossed 175 trillion tokens right there. So that's pretty awesome. So if I were to pull up some Dune analytics as well, let me see. Yeah, I mean, you just have some steady buy pressure of these people coming in with their total deposits. Let me see. Daily deposits. I mean, you can look at the green on the chart right here, or actually, no, I think we're covering it up. Yeah, this green, you can see all of this. But if you ever go to Dune Analytics and you're just wondering about the health of all the funds that are actually coming in to feed this BUSD Treasury right here, just go over to the futures Dune and look at all these green bars. And as you hover your tooltip over it, you'll see daily deposits, 97,000 this day, 112,000 this day, 49,000 that day, 57,000 that day. Like, you just have this steady stream of activity from all the nearly 3,000 participants in the futures DApp that's just constantly putting that buy pressure onto the Elephant token, right? People really got to just zoom out and realize it's more than just the token. So let me look at chat real quick. I've got into M last Wednesday and saw my token worth go up fast. Bought some more on Saturday night. Okay, Edwin. Well, hey, there you go. Just ride the storm, because don't forget, guys, you most likely are getting some reflections from this. And at the end of the day, Bertha's really getting some reflections from this. And we already know what happens when Bertha gets a lion's share of the token count. Shout out to Crypto Stew. But remember, he put this pie chart together. And look at what happens over time. Look at what happens over time. Bertha gets bigger, the LPs shrink, and then that means the protocol owns more liquidity. That is the key to everything here. Remember, this isn't about user-held liquidity, guys. This is not about, changing hands from one user to the other. It's about changing hands from one user to the protocol. Protocol-owned liquidity is the key here. Marius, hey, thank you. Hit that like button. Oh my gosh. So, Ed, other than that, man, I mean, have we seen days like this? It's been a long time since then. And I think this just really just caught people off guard if you think about it, right? Because if I pull up CoinGecko right now, you can see just in the last 90 days of this chart, it's just been barreling up, and we've been green in every time category. And I mean that it was almost getting boring how much we were just going up. And I don't even check the price every day. My wife's the one who's like, hey, yeah, did you look at elephant? And I'm like, no, let me guess, it went up. Like, how many months did I have to just do that? It was just like,
Yeah.
I just went up. Oh, boring. Tell me something new. Guys, today we have something exciting happening right now. This is so cool. And this is a perfect stress test for the ecosystem. And for all the new eyeballs that are looking at us right now, this is the ultimate test in their minds, right? They haven't been here for 2.5 years like Ed and myself. They're seeing this for the first time, and they are going to see how this protocol and the supply shockonomics actually bounces us up faster. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. What are some of your thoughts on the last time this may have happened? Or do you think people have just been so accustomed to going up that this is just some shocking revelation today, Ed?
It is shocking to a lot of the new members. And I think, wasn't there last month, there was a little red candle in there for a little bit. I know there's something on the chart within the past month or two we saw go down. Maybe it was a couple months before that. It wasn't a lot. I don't know how much it was. You could look on there. I'm on my phone, so it's hard to see where that little dip was a while back. But so you always have people that are coming in and they're like, we always see it go up. And then the other people are like, I don't want to get in because it keeps going up. And I have a feeling it's going to fall.
Yeah.
It's not really falling, but it dips a tiny bit. And I feel like the last time anything came close to it might have been over the summer. I'll try to pull it up on my laptop and see if I can describe it to you, which I was talking about. Maybe you'll remember the date and you'll be like, oh, now I know which one you meant.
Yeah. I'm just kind of scrolling through the old chart right here, and I mean, we've definitely had some volatility, some dips and dumps and whatnot, but then we really started to hit warp speed in August and really been going up at a steady clip. Now, this red candle is obviously larger than what the community is used to seeing, but guys, I remind you, I'll even pull up back when we had. Let me see if I can find it. But we had the graveyard rebalance a long time ago. But when we're going parabolic and you get big red candles such as this right here, this is a graveyard rebalance, okay? And this is when 5 trillion tokens are sold and then locked into liquidity. But you see how quickly we actually bounced up from that point. Now, things were different at this time because Bertha, I believe, at this moment in time, was much larger than what she is today. She's only at 175 trillion tokens today. And we cannot forget that the bigger she gets and the more of the supply she controls, the harder the price is to actually dump. Like right now, when you have all of these different people doing whatever they're going to do, we don't have the healthiest of Berthas that we've ever seen before. So you have to keep things in perspective and understand that for the longevity and long term of this token, what's happening today is actually fantastic for the protocol and is giving people not only new dollar cost average opportunities, but this will prove the brilliance of this protocol, much like what Thomas Nye, Crypto TN, just said on screen right here. Okay, when this bounces back, this is going to be incredible. And shout out to Rugs to Riches. I see you. I love you, bro. Hey, I love you too.
Hey,
Yeah,
SK.
yeah,
So
me
I
too.
was looking June 11th around that time.
June 11th. Okay,
That
let's.
that looks like we had a little movement there, but look what happened. I got ate up in a few days, maybe about a week, and back to normal again.
Yeah,
Just
I was
depends.
looking at the wrong June. Let me see. June.
All right. Oh yeah, June 11th. Yeah, actually we had a couple nice little big dips right there. But even though we had a string of dips, that was kind of when we were still just crabbing along sideways. And look, the community held strong even back then. The community is not panicking right now. You know who's panicking right now? It's all the new people who just don't understand it the way that we understand it. That's all that's happening here. And folks, they hear about, oh, there's a flash loan one, sometime before, like, is this another flash loan? Is this what this is? And the answer is categorically no, it's not. It's nothing of the sort. This is just profit taking and selling and B&B pumping and B&B dumping, in addition to the sell. So yeah, it definitely just highlights and stands out more in people's mind, especially when they're new, just like you said, Ed. But when we're crabbing along sideways, it doesn't really stand out that much. But when you just have the parabolic run that we've had recently, and you just zoom out, I mean, gosh, how many 2 to 3% days were we actually going through? You know what I mean? Like that's just what's crazy. So yeah, I think it just stands out. I think it just stands out to the new people. But ultimately, when you zoom out and you just take everything into perspective, there's nothing going on here. Like, right? BT isn't giving up. BT's still cutting his deals. He's still doing his thing. I think, didn't he say something in his voice note today as well, Ed, that he's like meeting with some other high profile, high net worth individuals? Like all of that stuff's happening. There's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, we haven't stopped moving, doing what we're doing. We're still doing the same thing. And people think a couple of people sell and there's a few $100,000 or something going in one direction, that it's totally a totally different situation. It's not. It's just all part of it. And as we keep going up, I think we're going to see more of the volatility, because that's even more of the profit people are going to take. And so instead of a lot of heavy buys and a handful of sells, it's going to start, I think, equaling out a little bit more, and you'll see both sides of it. But it's just going to see a little bit more action than you're used to seeing. I know you come in just now, like a week or two ago, or maybe even a couple months ago, you're seeing nothing but up, and then now you're seeing a little bit of the down, and you have all these different questions because it's not what you're used to. You're so used to, if you were in some other protocol right now, if this was going on, you would have seen this thing drop to about 20 cents per million.
Oh my
But
gosh,
not us.
yeah. Spot on, man. Spot on. So like even what SJ Sharks is saying right here, we got to tell all the new people to get their mind off of all the old investments they had and stop tripping. This ain't nothing to trip about. Like, just as what Ed said too, right? Like, you guys are just new. You don't know what's happening yet. You haven't experienced the stress tests that we as a community have already lived through. That's why, like, I'm just completely unshaken, right? This isn't just like blind hopium, guys. It's a I've been there, done that scenario. And let alone, remember, I've also diversified into dozens upon dozens upon dozens of different tokens and protocols that have all done one thing. And what is that one thing?
They kind of like died, right?
Yes, exactly. They're gone. They're not here. It comes to elephant money being the last man standing. You know what I mean? And this is just no different, guys. Like, the protocol is going to, do what it does. Bertha is going to eat. So yeah. Shout out SJ Sharks. That is a spot on comment. I think people are just so accustomed to the mentality of, once this must be community sentiment changing right now. And no, it couldn't be furthest, from the truth. So this is just a nice little stress test for people to see in real time how this shows the brilliance of the protocol, like Crypto TN said. So let me see. Marius right here says that first whale sell-off just before the last run-up starting the 5th of January 2022 was the most telling of what the ecosystem is capable of. So January of 2022. Actually, that makes me want to just zoom and find that. Let me see.
And while you're looking for that, I think everybody's really confused now because you're used to being in other protocols that are not as complex, but also as simple as ours. So you're used to being in something where if somebody does something like this and there's a bunch of cells, the entire community sells. And then we're telling you that, hey, listen, that's not how Elephant works. It doesn't work that way. Bertha, they don't have a Bertha. They don't have a Treasury. They don't have all the liquidity that we have. So now they come in our ecosystem and they get in a few months ago and now they see everything going up and then they see a little bit of some selling and then they're all confused. So it's from where they were to where they are now. We're trying to show them, hey, this is how it works. This is probably going to take like another week or two of just showing them how strong it is for them to actually believe. Like tomorrow morning, if it was up a little bit, I don't know if everybody would still understand because people are still trying to get a hold of how Bertha and how the whole ecosystem works because it's just a lot to learn and a lot to unlearn too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with that. And, I found that the red candle period that Marius was talking about. And yeah, this was before the first parabolic run up. And, you need to remember at this time, Bertha's still eating. So these are 1-day candles right here. And each of these negative days, while we're heading down for weeks at a time, Bertha was just eating. And I'm talking at the buffet. Like she's in there getting fat. All right. And then next thing you know, in March, that's when all the supply shockonomics started to kick in. That's when you have, the recipe that I've been telling folks. But like shout out to Daedalus who put this together. But remember, when Bertha is larger than the combined LP pools, we get the recipe for supply shockonomics. And that's what happened when we went parabolic. So there's nothing different right now. Every single day, this red and this blue on this chart are spreading more and more. And the further they get apart, the more we actually go up on price. So this is actually okay. I actually think that this is really healthy for the ecosystem, for the new people to see, especially the critics, like our good friend Gerhard, who we just had an AMA with, and BT, was there too. That was an amazing AMA. If you look at just the back and forth and just his critical thinking about how, he wants to believe in this protocol, but he's just not there yet. There's something he can't put his finger on why this might fail, but he hasn't found the reason why it would, but he hasn't found why it wouldn't either. And so he's kind of like in that I'm still researching zone. And look, this is a great stress test for him to see how the community as a collective actually will rally behind this. And within, a week or two, or who knows how long, we will bounce back and we will be at the all-time high. It is inevitable, folks, mathematically assured that we will cross previous all-time high. And I think that's going to be a huge day as well, Ed. I don't know. I think you were probably expecting it to happen within a week or two, Ed, but now,
I know.
probably kick back a little bit. But what are you going to do on the actual day that we cross all-time high? Are you going to kick back some whiskey, take some shots?
Well, I have some in front of me now. When you started the chat, it said, "Hey, Ed, you're waiting backstage for." It says it on the screen. You're backstage waiting for SK to let you in. I'm back here in the backstage in the green room. I'm like, man, there's a bottle of Bland's back here. Thank you, SK.
Yeah,
I'm hoping
man.
we can kind of go live. I don't know if we could on the Telegram at the exact moment, but it'd be nice to get close to it and go live with it. I think I was hoping it was going to happen before the Twitter Spaces on Wednesday. I don't think that's going to. Maybe it'll happen by next week, but it'd be nice to just have everybody in this talk and just have a good time with it and have fun with it. And then we know every day after that is another all-time high. What do you think people should be doing right now? I mean, everybody's been waiting for a dip, but now here's the other thing that they don't know about. Remember we were saying earlier, they're used to something else where the community would have completely disappeared just by seeing a tiny bit of a dip like this. We tell them that's not how it works here. But then also now they're like, okay, what should we do right now with our money? Because should we DCA right now? Or what do they need to do with their money right now?
Yeah. And of course, everybody who's watching, don't forget to hit the like button, and just don't forget that this is not financial advice by any means from Ed or myself, right? We are just some random dudes on the internet
Yep.
talking about our favorite project, Elephant Money. Okay. So, but yeah, if it were me, right? And what I would do in a position like this when handed the opportunity, and I'm going to assume that I know the ins and outs of this protocol like the back of my hand. If I was a new person like that, this would be the ultimate dip that people have been hoping, waiting, and wanting, for the longest time, so they can actually get a good entry point. Because you alluded to it earlier, Ed, but when it comes to the graveyard selling, you don't want to wait for the rebalance of a graveyard to make your first elephant purchase. Like, you want to be DCAing on the way up and also on the way down, right? You want to capture all those little all those valleys and peaks, right? You want to be buying at all points in time. And so understanding that, this price action on the token, has been just incredible in the last 1 year. I mean, you're basically averaging 1% a day in value growth. Okay. This is only going to speed up because we're using the past to mathematically predict the future. And this is a great buying opportunity for new people. And if you don't understand, all the complexities and intricacies of how everything's tied together, I challenge you, please go do your research, watch my other AMAs, watch the ones with Bank Teller, and follow the community, the Medium articles that are coming out. But understand how it ties together and buy the elephant token first. If it were me, I'd buy the elephant token first. And while that's appreciating or depreciating, but you're capturing reflections along the way, then do your research on the other stuff. Do your research on the other stuff. And that way, whenever you wait for your favorite multiple, whether it's 10, 20, 30x, however high this goes, then you sell off a couple, percentage points, 10%, 20%, whatever it is, and then diversify into the yield generating aspects of this ecosystem. So yeah, really good points, Ed. And if I were to pull up the chart right now too, ultimately, even though it has its ups and downs, when you zoom out, guys, remember, when in doubt, zoom out. Okay. Look, what is the trend line of this protocol? Never mind the flash loan that we survived, by the way, but you put your thumb over that, and what yet still is the overall trend line? It's going up, right? Like, that's the thing people need to realize. And I really like what BT had mentioned in the most recent AMA with Gerhard. And it was the fact that most of these other protocols, they rely on using a lever. Okay. You have to have a lever that you are constantly pushing down and trying to, apply pressure so you can lift up what's on the other end of the lever, which is the price. So these other protocols do that with all these buyback wallets and, Ponzi-nomics and getting more people to apply pressure onto the lever, right? And that's not what Elephant relies on. We don't need a lever because we have something better called a car jack, right? We have something that's mechanically winding up and doesn't go down because Bertha is that car jack. So, man, I don't know if you caught that analogy on that AMA, Ed, or did you watch that whole thing? What were your thoughts on some of that?
No, I didn't do that one that you just did. The last one I heard was a couple days ago, or maybe last week. I heard that one, but I didn't hear the one that BT jumped in on at all. I missed that one.
No, it's all good, man. It's a beautiful podcast that you can listen to. I really appreciated his line of thinking and the fact that he's even just doing his research, even today, right? He's in DMs with Mike Dre, our favorite community member, Mike Dre, and that guy comes hard with the facts, the figures, the links, anything. He can just whip it and flip it however you want. And Mike Dre is in DMs with him too, so it's really cool. Let me come back into the chat real quick. Time to grow more. My bags. Donato, hey, that is a really good strategy. Just like JRA Crypto says, DCA all the way. So then we've got
Oh, we got Atlas. Yo, shout out. Hey, the terror card, bro. You need to send me my terror card, bro. I'm waiting for that thing. But he says, SK is the truth. Let's get this crypto. Thank you, brother, for popping in here. Marius Gerhard just did a video on the drop in price. Think he is gloating. Let him in. All publicity is good publicity. Whether, in time, they will see. DeFi Guide says, if this dip gets bought and the price goes on to make new all-time high, I think the price will go bananas. I hope that happens. Yes, DeFi Guide. That is spot on, man. And I think that's what's going to be happening here. Okay. I think that it's just a matter of time. It's inevitable. Look, the folks who are brand new, you're just seeing your very first stress test, especially if you bought in within the last couple weeks, right? So, and I think Ed may have said that earlier, but some of the newer folks who were in maybe 2 weeks ago, they haven't quite cleared their, their 8.5 to 10% fee collection on the way in. So they see something like this and like, oh man, my entire bag is like underwater right now. But it's like, okay, look, just chill, understand how the protocol works, understand the carjack analogy that was used. Shout out to DeFi Springs. I first heard that from him, but we are mechanically winding up that carjack, and that comes specifically from Bertha right here. Whenever anyone ever has doubts, just always check the Dune analytics. You can see in the last 7 days what's been happening. We've been dropping X amount of trillions out of the LPs. We've been gaining X amount of trillions into Bertha. That is the path that you want to see this token go. So let me see what else. Time to buy more, says Jacoby. If you change the chart from linear to logarithmic, the dip cancels out completely. Can't even see it. Yeah. We don't want to use trickery. We just want to show the truth. SJ Shark says, if you have the mindset that this is a long-term investment, that at times you can pull money out here and there, you won't be in a panic mode. Yep. Nope. That is spot on.
Let me touch on that, SK. So
yeah,
bringing that up, that's what our ecosystem's about. They've always been about, the over 1,600 days I've been with BT through all the ecosystem, not just here on BSC, but on Tron, on ETH. He has never built something for you to get in, get out, make quick profit. So when BT says this, it's cash flow. Wait, let me say this a little differently. Cash flow for all, not cash for all. Meaning cash for all means go get your money and take a hike. Cash flow for all means constant flow of money you can have for a long period of time. You have your own strategies, your own way, but the ecosystem itself, if you play it exactly the way it's built, you can have cash flow for all by doing it the right way. And, we are never, ever been let me look at the 1 day chart ecosystem in any of them. A week minimum, and then even further out, a month, a year, but we've never been a day chart kind of ecosystem. You got to zoom out, like you said. 1 week is the minimum you should be looking at our chart. And if you look at the chart right now for a week, I think we're doing pretty good. So always think of it that way, and always think of it as cash flow, never just cash.
Yeah, that is spot on. That is spot on. Jeez, can you just repeat everything you just said so people really get it? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, dude. No, I love it because you really do have to zoom out. Like, this elephant token is not something that you trade, guys. Like, this isn't what you just come in and then you sell in 3 days and you're just like, trading in and out of the token. No, this is a long-term investment vehicle. You have to remember that elephant money is a business. This is a business, just like McDonald's. Oh, you already know where I'm going with this. But just like McDonald's, we have menu items, okay? Right? If elephant money is a business and the product being sold is yield, well, your share price is the actual token. And the more that these side yield-generating products being sold, like futures, like NFTs, like Trunk token and the farms, the more these things overall get utilized, the more money actually gets harnessed
and channeled into Bertha. And the larger Bertha gets, she controls that price. The protocol controls that price. And the chart will inevitably go up and sell itself to the masses. You're going to have, remember, like even Jed pointed this out a second ago, but look at the Dex Tools Hot 100. We're trending number 1 right now, the top of my screen. Can I zoom in on this? Elephant is number 1 right now on Dex Tools. Okay. And with the other LP, I don't know which one, but we're number 4. And then let it scroll over a little bit more. I thought I saw Trunk up there at some point. Okay, I don't see Trunk up there anymore. But look, all volatility is good. It gets us in the lens of all these people on these algorithmic, charting websites, and we're getting in front of new people. So when they look at the token, they might just go on Pancake Swap and just buy it, right? They don't even know about Buy with Bertha. They don't even know who Bertha is. But once they get the token, and then over time they see that it's actually performing even after their entry fee was collected, then they start to do more research. Then they start to see the analogies put out there on YouTube. Then they start to learn about futures and the NFTs. And then that's when all hell breaks loose, right? They start diversifying once they learn about the token, and then everything surrounding the token, right? That keeps that positive buy pressure on a daily basis that's happening here. Like, you guys, don't forget, even when you look at the futures yield tab right here, there's $153,000 in BUSD that is waiting on the sidelines to purchase this elephant token. And don't forget that every time that elephant token is actually purchased, Bertha's doing a multiplicative effect on that money coming in. Like, look, let me just go through this math one more time for maybe the new folks who are seeing this for the first time ever. But when $535, for example, comes in on the elephant price or chart, it takes the current price per million, which I'll highlight right here, at 0.49847. And then $535 comes in and changes that 7 down here to a 9.49849. That little price appreciation that happens and gets spread out across Bertha's token count of 175 trillion tokens. She has a 8.5x multiplier on that 535 that came in. To her, she turned it into $4,500 that she is hodling. Remember that value retention, that value capture is what this protocol is all about, and does better than 99% of the out there. I had to bleep myself. I'm going to keep it clean. But that's the amazing part here, guys. And so Bertha's going to be constantly doing these little buybacks. That 100, like 8.5x multiplier. Actually, let me see that. So 8.5x multiplier right now. If I just took 153,177 times 8.5, Bertha's going to turn this minimum into $1.3 million. Okay, that she will hodl and that she will use for her buybacks on the liabilities of the ecosystem. Crypto Stu updated this chart right here, but the token count in yellow is going up nice and smooth. It's up 112% year over year, but yet the value of Bertha has been up over 1,500%. Okay, that dollar valuation is just insane. And that really was the catalyst by futures right here, and then followed by the unlimited NFT launch. So, oh wow, we've had a huge amount of chat here. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. And also, after this stream is over, please drop a fresh comment on the channel. That way this gets out to new people, because we are changing hearts and minds in the Elephant Money community with all the new folks coming on board.
So SK, so
ahead.
today itself, Bertha, what has she been doing today? How often does she do her buys? I know some people ask that. How often does she do what she does, whether it's taking in the money from buys or sells? How often does she do what she does?
Dude, every damn day. We can see in the government
it's not by
strategy,
the minute, right?
Not
she
by
waits
the
till
minute.
she gets
no.
a certain amount and then starts doing her transactions.
Correct.
Okay.
So she has an auto trigger built in, that BT was just saying on the AMA earlier. But let's go to the 5-minute chart right here. We'll
We'll see. But yeah, I mean, you got all these little micro buys and sells that are happening right now. And it looks like the big dump kind of happened, and then you got some people waiting on the sidelines. But yeah, some of these, maybe this green candle right there, that might have been Bertha, right? And Bertha's accruing some of her value in this governance tab right here. So at this exact moment, there's just $2.6 thousand that are waiting. That is coming out of this BUSD Treasury right now. So right now, $2.6 thousand has already come out of this and is waiting here in the lobby, right, until somebody hits this buyback button, which will then buy this amount of elephant token. You will see a $2.6 thousand purchase on the chart, and that will get locked into Bertha. So this is happening all the time, and I think that there's an auto trigger for this to happen around $3,000. But I mean, right now, if I wanted to hit this, I can trigger this manually right now. But there's no need for that. There's no need for that. So yeah, pretty incredible stuff here. I kind of lost track of chat. If you want to go ahead and say anything else, Thor, while I read the chat.
Well, don't forget, tomorrow we're doing our Twitter Spaces, 11 a.m. New York time. I'm hoping BT will come on. He'll probably give some words about all the cool stuff that's been going on today with the volatility, and give his 2 cents about everything and what you need to do in your over the next week or so. And I'm sure I'll be able to explain it a little bit more. I've looked at the transactions and seen where they're coming from, and nothing bad at all. I mean, literally, they're just people that were trying to leverage, trying to make profit any way they could. Some stayed in, some didn't. Look, people, when we were at the Bitcoin adjusted under $3, people were in and buying, and now we're over $23. And yeah, I mean, if I made 10x, I'm going to start taking some money sooner or later. So this is going to happen more and more. Actually, the higher we get, the more profit's going to be taken. So expect to see more of that as we go down the road. I don't know how big you'll see it, or maybe it'll be small transactions, maybe it'll be big ones. But you know what? Some people made a lot of money, and you might not see, oh, somebody sold $100. Somebody might sell 10 grand or 20 grand. You might see that, because if somebody literally put $1,000 in, back when we were under $3 right now, they're going to take out another 10 grand. So it's just part of the process. And I know it's hard to grasp everything all at one time, or it'll shock you because you've been in such a great mood all week, and you come in, you're like, whoa, that's not how I wanted to start the week. But it's all part of it. And you know what? I haven't budged. I haven't even flinched. And I've actually been pretty happy, because all I keep doing, I don't even check the price now. I keep looking at my wallet just to see how many more tokens I got. So that's how important that is to me versus how much the token is actually worth, because that's just a minute detail right now is the price.
Yeah. I agree with that wholeheartedly, man. And Gregory in the chat said he wanted to remind you, Ed, today is actually Monday, so the Twitter space will be Wednesday.
It is
So
Wednesday, 11 a.m. My bad.
Yep. Which those are
Thanks,
really
Greg.
exciting times. Anybody
You
who's
don't win an
listening
NFT for that, by the way.
Oh yeah, Greg, no NFT for you, bruh.
Oh man, shucks, Gregory, that sucks, man.
But
so SK, your little buddy there, when your little one's old enough to talk, I hope he doesn't get pushed out of the way or feel like,
Nah, ain't
child,
no baby. No baby's gonna replace me. I'm the little guy. I will strangle it. No, wait, no, this is PG. I'm sorry, SK. I didn't mean to say anything bad.
It's okay. Don't worry, little guy. But there will always be a place for everybody on this show. Got the little guy. Might even have a special appearance from the daughter one day. Who knows? But it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. As far as some of the other comments that were good here, let me see. I think speaking of McDonald's, I'm about to go get some. Thanks for reminding me, says BJNI. Hey, go enjoy that McDonald's. Captain Fahad says the good thing about Elephant is that the biggest holder is not human. Remember, guys, this is a 0.8% largest human holder supply token. I think I got the holder list right here. And yes, 0.8% of the supply is by a human. Continuing with Fahad's comment,
It's Bertha that's not greedy or has any problems like humans. That is a good point. That's the friendly whale you want to be at your side. Cryptozoa, shout out to you, brother Patrick, my guy. Guys, y'all don't understand. Me and Patrick go way back. I love this guy. But if you understand how the protocol works, then the temporary jukes that the price moves doesn't really concern you that much. Facts. Like, on that note, I'm just sitting here just having my, usual day. I'm hanging out with the baby. Everything's good. And then I start getting blown up on my phone because I've got, coworkers and such that I have put into this protocol, and they love it. They love it. They love everything that's been happening for years and years and years. And then some of them are like, hey, yo, SK, man, I've been seeing this thing go down. What's going on? And, I just got to be like, yeah, it is what it is. Volatility is good. Bertha's going to eat. And and then they'll just follow up with exploit ? And I'll say nope, just regular old sells, it's fine, and they give me the thumbs up because they understand how the protocol works. Barring a black swan event, everything is normal and fine right now. So I love the fact that they chose to reach out to me after 7 weeks of not being at work, but it is what it is. Cryptozoa also says, that mere existence of Bertha and her relentless buying means that these dips can only be seen as fantastic buying opportunities. Those are wonderful words and 1000% true. Oh my gosh. Alex says, I just triggered the buyback. Haha, that is awesome. Oh, you just did that for the first time? Let me see.
Nice.
Let me see. Yeah, look at that.
Nice.
Look. It used to say, and what's really cool when the numbers are small like this, you actually get to see it grow in real time. I just saw that jump up to 190. Wow. Yep. Yeah, that is really cool. Awesome, Alex. Shout out to you. Dim says SK's enthusiasm is captivating. Why? Thank you very much. I just do what I does. All right. Gregory says, haha, give an NFT to a community member who could really use it. Oh, yeah, for your comment about the correction Monday to Wednesday. Yeah. Let me see. There are 76 humans that hold over 500 trillion tokens. Not 500 trillion tokens. You mean 500 billion tokens. These are the holders that could cause a blip if they take big profit. Eventually, these tokens get spread out amongst new holders. Yes, Pete, that is exactly spot on. So largely, the top human holders in this entire protocol have been with BT since day one, myself included. And even on the scariest day of the protocol, it did not crash. So do not forget that, folks. It didn't crash. Everyone wants to worry about like negative sentiment and, the doomsday scenario where everybody sells. We already experienced it. It happened on April 12th, 2022. Okay. That was the day of the flash loan. And anyone who wanted to sell and got out, they got out. Right. We've already did that song and dance, and we have come a long way in a year and a half. I know Ed has been paying attention to the chat the whole time, but we have transcended all of those stress tests. This is just yet another one, another small one, mind you. So, it's just jarring because we're so used to seeing the chart go up. So, and then Pete, he actually corrected you right there. Yeah. No, shout out to you. So, man, yeah, there's actually not too much else I want to really go into. I wanted to keep this stream about 1 hour long, so we got about 5 minutes left if anyone has any final questions. But yeah, really, you just got to zoom out on the chart and take everything in stride, right? And when in doubt, zoom out, look at the overall trend line of this token. It's just inevitable, just like Cryptozoa was saying. If you understand how Bertha operates, she's taking this opportunity to DCA, and I think a lot of people will. I think even after this stream, I might go buy some elephant token. I don't know. I actually, what was really cool? I just got my redemption queue payout the other day, and I was shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot all about this 1,000 trunk I put in a year ago or whenever, and I just got that 1,000 BUSD, and I was about to buy some elephant token. Damn, I wish I would have held that BUSD until today. I could have DCA'd more elephant token. But instead, I aped into some more round 2 NFTs. So, yeah, I'm very happy with that. I've got a long-term mindset on my NFTs, which will perpetually pay me elephant token rewards. So it's going to be cool. But yeah,
How have you been doing with that, man? How you been claiming a lot, or you wait till a set amount? What's your little strategy on that when you claim all the tokens?
Yeah, I try not to. I really want to unplug from a lot of my daily routines on crypto stuff. So I'm kind of actually happy a lot of these ROI DApps died, so I don't have to I don't have to go compound and do stupid stuff anymore. But when it comes to the NFTs, I kind of just wait until like a nice number, like $100 worth of elephant token was built up, and then I'll just claim it out. And then, hey, that's $100 that just went into my actual bag. And then don't forget, guys, you're getting rewards in elephant token. So inevitably, when elephant token does a 10x, that $100 does a 10x. So that's $1,000. So, we're incredibly early on that stuff. Yeah.
So I know you're going to end up wrapping it up here in a minute. Let me jump in real quick and say, listen, we've talked last week, and I always bring it up this time of year all the time about this is the perfect time of year to get people into crypto because it's the holidays and you're buying gifts. And no matter if it's $20 gift or $100 gift or $500, however much, being new wallets to new members of EM, well, guess what? Today is an amazing day to do that. How much elephant you're going to get today versus yesterday because the little dip we had. You're looking to make that gift, buy it today. Buy it the next week. Buy it now because this is your chance. You wanted to DCA, you can just DCA your gifts at the same time. So whatever you're going to get for the holidays for somebody, I would say this is a really good spot to do it.
Yeah, no, spot on, man. I agree with that 1000%. Because we already know what this overall is going to do, right? And just don't get shaken out, guys. Hold the faith. This to you may sound like a bunch of hopium, but to me, this is just another day, right? And I'm actually very excited for this opportunity for new people to actually buy in at a cheaper elephant price. Otherwise, I would have been going up, non-financial advice. But, this is a wonderful opportunity. And, just keep everything in perspective. And I'll end it with this. But look, when it comes to elephant money, we have enemies, okay? We have people that do not want this protocol to succeed. And that is clearly evident by the flash loan that happened a year and a half ago. And when you look at the chart, the way that I have it shown right now, what do you think they're doing? You know that they see we're going parabolic. You know that they want to stop the momentum. So they don't want to see us cross previous all-time high. They don't want to see the narrative shift from the greatest comeback story in DeFi history, right? Because once we pass all-time high, that's when things get crazy. That's when the narrative shifts and everybody knows that this protocol has fully bounced back. You know what I'm saying? So, just hold the faith, guys. Like, don't get shaken out by any of this stuff. Just understand that Bertha is going to do what she is built to do by a founder that's not going to give up on you, guys. Listen to when he did the voice message that's 42 minutes long. Listen to the passion in that dude's voice, right? That man is doing this for the next generation. This man is trying to save the DeFi industry and the world for that matter, right? Don't lose that perspective, okay? This is all just a chess game, and BT is always 10 steps ahead. So don't let the enemies out there, the detractors, the people that want to FUD, convince you otherwise. You know how this protocol works, and if you don't, do your research. But this is the greatest damn thing you probably would have ever come across. So I will end it with that. Ed, do you have any final words?
Stay focused, elephants. That's all.
All right, guys. So that's it, folks. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button. And if you enjoyed this stream, not only smash that like button, but hit that notification bell as well. And until next time, folks, please stay safe out there, stay blessed, and make good choices with your crypto.